Yeah, we're ready. Okay. Let me know. Is that ready? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I am Darren Edwards. It's D-A-R-Y-N. I'm an Assistant Chief, Homeland Security Command. I'm joined here with Commander Anthony from Vice, Assistant Chief Patty Catu, and Commander Megan Howard with our Tactical Operations Division. So just to give you an update on what you see behind us, last night we were made aware of a kidnapping call that was called in, and our Homicide Division worked through the night getting information on a possible location of where the kidnapping victim would be all through the night, and this morning we were able to get a search warrant for a house behind us here in the 12200 block of Chessington. And in the process of, we had our Tactical Operations Team, SWAT, go in and execute the search warrant. And when they got inside the house, they realized that this is actually going to turn into a human smuggling investigation. So that part of it will be handled by the HSI investigators that are on scene now. But we do have some of our criminal division representatives here from Homicide, Major Assaults and Family Victims, Special Victims Division, and Vice Division. When we got into the house, we realized that there were over 90 people inside. And so we immediately began to assess any kind of a special threat after that. Once we isolated that, we wanted to make sure we rendered any kind of a medical care. So we had HFD with us. We are concerned that there may be some positive COVID cases inside the house. So we do have our health department en route. They will do some rapid testing for that. So we will keep them in the house for now and they begin to do their investigation. So that's our first concern. And then at some point, once we figure out how many positive COVID cases we have, we may have to quarantine. And we will turn it over to HSI to do the actual investigative part of it, and we'll assist in any way we can. And that's really all I have right now. I could open up for questions if you have any, as much as I can answer. Well, we are in a pandemic, and we do have some people in the house that are symptomatic, right? So we've already had some people in the house tell us they're not able to smell and not able to taste, and we did have some people with fever. So we've got the health department going to do some rapid testing and kind of take it from there.
How many women? How many men? Children?
No, there's no children inside. Youngest is probably early 20s. And as of right now, I think we have approximately 5 females and the rest are males. No, it's closer to 90. I'm guessing 91, somewhere around there. Absolutely not. No, it was a big surprise when we got in the house and saw what we saw. When with as far as the homicide? I mean, as far as the kidnapping?
Yeah.
Last night we were called to a location and given some tips, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But we worked through the night to try to figure out exactly where they were, which led us to this address, and we had some pretty good information that they were here. Well, you put them all together in a room and in 2 separate parts of the house, upstairs and downstairs. It's a 2-story house. So they basically, are in there in their basic clothing and all huddled together. So that's what we saw when we got in. No, sir.
They're just sitting next to each other.
Yes. Yes.
Be a family member that contacts you thinking that their family.
That's what we believe. Yeah, that's what we believe.
Family member outside of this house.
Correct. That's what we believe. Correct. We're still trying to work through all that. I'm sorry? We've actually got them some food. We brought them some food and got them some water. They said they haven't eaten in a while. We're feeding them. We haven't heard anything from any of the neighbors as far as anything that would lead them to believe that there was something like that going on. It's very surprising.
So I'm sure next to the investigation is trying to figure out who owns this home, right? What's wrong with these people here?
Absolutely. We don't know any of that yet. We're working through that. Well, that's what we're working through. We've got to separate who the victims are versus who, as you can imagine, somebody that would be involved with something like this, as soon as they realize we're here, they're probably going to try to become a part of them, right? And so we've got to be able to identify, and that's what we're doing now, identifying. I have no knowledge of any firearms being recovered or anything.
Talk a little bit about the process and what you guys do next.
Well, that's where HSI is going to come in. Yeah. First thing first, we want to make sure if we do have any positive COVID cases, we treat that and make sure they get medical care and all that, and then we'll begin to start to identify and work through all the other stuff.
Was COVID the only medical concern that you guys saw?
That's all we could tell. Yeah, everybody else looked like, other than just some being symptomatic, fever, loss of smell, loss of taste. It didn't look like there were any serious injuries involved. So.
How many would you say are presenting symptoms?
I don't know.
5, 2, 3?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
What's the message to the community, especially right now when people pull out of the border? I'm sure that there's people out there that probably saw something that they didn't think you would.
You know, we always ask the community, please, if you see something, say something. Call us, even if there's any doubt at all, just call us and let us begin an investigation and look into it. We all need to work together. That's something that Chief Finner has been really stressing to the community, not just on something like this, because this is obviously not something we see often, but it is disturbing. In situations where we have violent crime, our focus is to get violent crime down, and we need the help of the community. We need the community to be able to speak with us and work with us to resolve incidents, this included. So.
In your experience, what typically happens in situations like this? You guys know connections or Afghan family?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they were going to parcel them off into some kind of doing some work or labor or something like that. But it's definitely more of a smuggling thing and not a trafficking thing.
What age is the oldest person?
I would say, from what we could tell, is probably upper 30s.
So where are those people now? Are they still here, or where do you guys relocate those people?
Well, that's what we're going to have to determine, and it's going to depend on what we're going to find out as far as who has COVID and who doesn't.
So they're still in.
Yes.
Chief, this is the fourth house, obviously not of this magnitude, in the southwest area this year so far that you all have found. Why does it seem that it's isolated in the southwest area that you're finding these, and what are you doing to go after them in advance?
I really don't. I really don't know what to tell you with that, because I'm not very experienced with that part of it, and I don't know, so I don't want to tell you anything wrong. But we could definitely follow up when we follow up on this, and on our side, working with the federal agency, that's something we can look into.
And the family that owns the house was saying that one male had rented the house. Do you have an ID, or do you have any idea who you're looking for?
They're working on that. I don't have any of that information. It wasn't bad, like you would think. I mean, it's all wooden flooring, so it didn't look like if you're talking about like they looked like they were going to the restroom and the floor and all that stuff. I didn't see any of that. Oh yeah, I didn't see any bedding. Well, I saw mattresses and stuff up on the wall. So. I'm sorry.
You wasn't furnished the house.
Not very well, no. And would any of y'all like anything in Spanish? Okay. Well.
All right, so Houston police updating right there. What a story. 90 people found inside of the home right behind you there in this human smuggling operation. And as you heard there, they are also dealing with the pandemic as well, as they fear that about 15 to 20 people inside of that home could have COVID-19. So that could obviously spread very fast. So we'll keep an eye on this story here, but it's a huge story out of Houston, Texas.